Hello and welcome. I'm Exelite and this is my channel. Today I have the honor of narrating a story that was sent to me by a subscriber. I'm going to give him a full credit. This is by Mark Pavlicek. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll notice that Mark comments quite often. I want to thank you so much for allowing me to narrate this for you. You guys, you don't know how much of a blessing it is that you entrust me to read these for you. So, without further ado, let's get started into Mark's story. Lunch at Sun Tzu's. Cal Kinsey works for a local lawyer's office, fresh out of college. Despite earning a respectable degree in law, he was still pretty green behind his ears, and that meant he was more of an errand boy. He spends a lot of quick lunches along a busy, dusty stretch of highway in Beaverton, Oregon. On one cloudy day, the sky looks like it might rain. Ominous clouds hang down in disarray and form an uncharacteristic fog, misty and drab. Cal notices a restaurant he has seen before, with a bright blue plastic banner announcing "Now Open." He has seen this place several times before, but he hasn't yet taken the time to try out this new incarnation. It's a Chinese restaurant, just like the restaurant in its place before, and again before that. Wary, but hungry and short on time, he decides to give it a shot. Cal enters the heavily painted brick restaurant and notices that nothing much has changed since the last time he dined there. A series of failures. The interior is worn and unimproved, but clean. There is only a pair of people huddled in a corner, arguing. A quiet, older man, wearing a paper hat and carrying a bunch of bunched-up blue rags, steps up to the podium and nods. He is seated by the window on a fake leather booth, looking into the mist as a few droplets dampen the pavement. The menu he is given has no pictures, just a smattering of things to order. One side of the menu is handwritten in Chinese, and the other printed in English. The smell of pine sol is strong, and he sees a spider in the corner of the window, looking as though he might make a web. The sound of arguing is a bit louder now, and it fills him with unease. The fluorescent lighting above flicker. Just as he begins to think about getting up and leaving, he smells something intoxicating. It is complex layers of flowers and sandalwood. Mrs. Wong enters. A middle-aged woman with dark purple eyeshadow and black eyeliner which accentuates her eyes. She is short in stature with poofy maroon-colored hair, but exudes impeccable appearance. She smiles at Cal. Her lips are turned up only slightly. Her eyes do most of the smiling. "Welcome to Sun Tzu's," she said, and nothing more. After a small deliberation, Cal orders kung pao chicken with pork chow mein and an iced tea. He is pleasantly surprised by the quality of his lunch, and quite amazed that the restaurant isn't busier. Mrs. Wong comes to give him his check and smiles broadly, knowingly, with a certain amount of charm, in a way all her own. She takes a couple of crisp $10 bills, but before he leaves, she gives him a fortune cookie. The cookie isn't wrapped in clear plastic, as is the usual. He looks down, and he can see honey-browned corners. This was not any old cardboard crisp, a homemade cookie of the most sweet almond excellence, delicate and delightful as he crunches down on it. He snaps the cookie open, and to his surprise there is a folded strip of paper with the ink on it seemingly still wet in calligraphy. A golden egg of opportunity will occur this week. Cal thinks nothing of this, and as the week passes, life goes on much the same. But on Monday morning, after an uneventful weekend, something most mysterious happens. An email has been received by Mr. Stein, the owner of his firm. Under normal circumstances, this wouldn't be any drive away from the mundane or the expected. But on this day, Mr. Stein explains to him that a partner in the firm is moving to San Antonio, and he would like to elevate Cal to partner. Cal had not yet made the connection to the fortune he received. And so, for a while at least, life went on as normal, as he prepared himself for life in his new role as partner. As a few months go by, Cal is settling into his new desk quite nicely. At his office, someone has to basically retire or die to make partner. As is the joke around the office, he has managed to settle in quite well, but any illusion of free time he had before quickly dissipated. He is so busy with his cases that he finds it difficult to always make time to eat on schedule. And so, crunched for time on yet another spring day, he finds himself in need of a quick meal in between working arrangements. Once again he drives into the muddy parking lot at Sun Tzu's, with nary another car in sight. "I thought you might be in soon." Mrs. Wang greets him mysteriously after recognizing him right away. She brings him the same order from the time before and says nothing to him as she places it in front of him. He eats his lunch hurriedly as a couple other tables are seated, and once again, as he pays his check, Wang brings him another fortune cookie. At this point, he smiles in fancy at the deliciousness and opens the cookie. "A pleasant surprise is waiting for you today." As he gets home after a mentally tiresome day at the office, Cal logs into a singles website he frequents. He reads through his emails and comes across one at the bottom of his inbox. Carrie Lists, he thinks to himself. That name sounds familiar. Indeed, Carrie has found him from his college days at PSU. She goes on to express excitement at finding him, since he had never been on Facebook, explaining that she is a young widower, and would he like to meet her for dinner or a drink? Cal takes Carrie out and is pleasantly surprised as their new romance blossoms and he settles into his new job nicely. Several months go by and he doesn't think of the fortune cookie. On his way home one rainy night, he ducks into Sun Tzu's again. He has just finished up with an important case. The restaurant is decently picking up, he notices, and Mrs. Wang greets him as though she had only seen him yesterday. He makes a trip to the bathroom and notices his eyes are a bit sunken. His hair seems more gray. A smooth, long journey. Great expectations. He goes home and Carol greets him. "You've been working awfully hard. Let's take some time off to celebrate." She presents him with an idea to fly to San Diego and escape the winter for a weekend. The trip goes so well that he asks Carol to move in with him. The end of the year rolls over and into spring. Craving Sun Tzu's chicken, he makes a stop over and brings with him his work from the office. He opens his mail and gets to his bank statements. Now is a good time to buy stock. Very direct indeed. Nothing vague about that. He finally makes the connection that every good thing in his life has happened after getting a fortune cookie. Still a little wary, he makes a risky and full-figured investment, tongue mostly in cheek. The next week there is a dramatic change in affairs that leaves Cal very rich indeed. The next time he visits Sun Tzu's, he can't believe it. Every table in the restaurant is taken, and there is a line out the door. Mrs. Wang appears, looking tired. Her makeup looks as though she has slept in it for days, and her hair is frizzled with roots showing. She does not recognize Cal. Cal thinks perhaps her success is driving her beyond the point of proper self-care. "And now there will be 3 of you." Cal gets home and Carrie tells him she is pregnant. The 2 of them share this moment with complete joy and excitement, and Cal takes her close to him and tells her that he has never been more happy or fulfilled. He doesn't want to think it's possible, but he is certain that everything he's had is because of the fortune cookies at Sun Tzu's. Heading home to pick up dinner, he grabs an order to go from the restaurant. Mrs. Wang is gone, and the man who rings him up takes his order. "Don't forget your fortune cookie," he says to him almost as if it were an irritation. Before he takes his food to the car, he opens this cookie and he looks down despairingly. Your luck is about to change. He speeds home with a pit in his stomach. The door to his house is ajar. He calls out. His voice is a fervor as he searches for Carol. He gets to the bathroom, and he calms down when he sees her tiptoes sticking out of a bubble bath. He tears back the curtain, and he sees her floating in the water, and screams, and sees the water is bloodied, a gaping hole where her womb used to be. Thank you again, Mark Pavlicek. If you guys want to leave a comment, please make sure to leave it to him. This is his story. I love this concept. Thank you for sending it to me. Thank you for allowing me to narrate this for you. Good night.